Okay, so hi guys, welcome to this very special video about Outsmarted, but also it's the two Reese's chat with me, Reece Manigan, and Reece Skinner.
Hello.
Okay, so Reece, appreciate you doing this today, this video, talking about the entire series. I know that you wanted to talk about the background of Outsmarted and everything, because obviously, of course, you're in season three, playing
Yeah.
Jackson. And obviously, that's in the editing process now. It's all been wrapped, and I've already edited the first so far 5 episodes. So yeah, so let's talk about the series in general.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like my main thing was firstly, where did the idea come from? Why Outsmarted? Why this series? Why me? Why just why?
Why you? Because I literally had no one else. No one else. I was bored. I had to just pick somebody out random. Literally closed my eyes and went,
Fair,
"There you go." So
fair.
that's your question out of the way. No, no. So the background of it all. I mean, it was an idea I've had for a long time. Outsmarted. I mean, it wasn't really called Outsmarted at the time. It was basically a series I had, which was I've always been a fan of comedy detective stuff. I grew up with the Pink Panther films, Naked Gun, Ace Ventura, and Johnny English. Those are kind of like the main inspirations. And I've always thought, what I've always loved about those movies, it's just always hilarious that you get an idiot hero that manages to fight off villains who are so super smart and manages to outcome those because of their stupidity. And I've always thought, that's always fun that I've always wanted to go for. And also I'm a bit of a fan of the old Sherlock Holmes stories as well. I mean, I've actually read and I've seen the movie The Hound of the Baskervilles, which was my favorite one, and I've always wanted to do something that was very similar to that. And so the 1940s setting had to be there. Um, but yeah, but the comedy side of it, it just had to be something that was really like, silly. And I mean, because Red's character, I mean, he is a bit of an idiot in a way. He just kind of misunderstands a lot of things that goes on. It doesn't really seem to understand what the situation is. That's what makes him really hilarious. Um, but yeah, I just thought I really wanted to do something like that. So I wrote a pilot just before COVID had hit the UK, and I was making the Wonders of the Looking Glass, which was my sequel to The Wonders of Alice, because originally the pilot, which was called The Walrus of the Carpenter, was going to be taken from an Alice in Wonderland perspective, but then after doing Looking Glass, I wasn't really the experience of making that wasn't as fun compared to the first movie. So I thought I
Right.
really want to kind of move away from the whole Wonders franchise and do something very different. So I jumped into this and made it very completely separate and thought I would still want to do a who done it, funny detective, suspects, all that. And I had a lot of fun doing it. And I never expected the pilot to do as well as it did. I mean, I released on Christmas Day because obviously it was meant to come out in 2020, but then obviously COVID happened, so I delayed it for
Yeah.
18 months. Started shooting the rest of it, got it out for Christmas Day, and amazingly the views blew up. And I was really shocked. I was like, wow, people actually really enjoyed this. So I thought I've got to do a series. So immediately I already knew what it was I wanted to do with series one, and the concept was there, and I was like, right, do that, and then the rest is history. And yeah, and I just can't believe that people are actually watching it, and I've already made 3 series already out of it. It's quite unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well done to you. And just on that though, obviously you said it, the rest is history. I am intrigued because I'm always interested in how things come about. With the characters in mind, what was the sort of obviously you talked a bit about Red, the other characters that are in the series, what was the thinking behind that? Was that something you knew straight away, or is that something that needed to be developed as the series went on, sort of thing?
Oh, it's definitely something as the series goes on because I didn't know who was going to come back, who I was going to bring in, and you never do. It's like when I was
Yeah.
creating sequels as well, like with the Wonders of the Looking Glass. Some people didn't want to come back, so I brought some new faces in, and it's all about extending that universe. Yes, but with the series one, it was funny because I knew I had to link it with the pilot. So Charlie and
Yeah.
Charlotte were immediately coming back anyway to be in series one because I thought they have to link with the pilot, and it also it gives a good excuse to say to people you have to watch every episode and also have to watch every series so they know the
Yeah.
storylines. Because obviously I've never done a continuation series before. I mean, it's like with Archie and Jim. With Archie and Jim, was every episode was a different story. You know, Archie and Jim become pirates. Archie and Jim become cowboys, milkmen, whatever, and then the rest, as it goes on. So this was very different for me in terms of continuing the story. But the inspirations for those, obviously Fargo was one of them. The idea of continuing a story for like 5, 6, 7 episodes, and obviously knowing how that goes. So luckily, I kind of knew the structure of that. But it was just because it was my own series. It was how do I structure it? How many characters are there going to be? For series one, I did kind of bring in more of my cast family because obviously, as I was doing Outsmarted, I was originally meant to be doing a feature film called The Legends of the Siren, but that got cancelled because unfortunately, due to unreliable actors. So I thought, right, with Outsmarted, this is going to be my project with my own cast who I know. I don't want anybody
Sure.
new in the series. So I already got Rennie and David and Mike and Charlie and etc. And I already knew who their characters were going to be because the concept already was gangster warfare. That was already in my head. Melissa, though,
Mm.
who played Judy, I mean, obviously, I wanted a partner in the series, but the person who I wanted couldn't do it. Someone who I knew, and Melissa come along, and she was brand new. And at first, I was like, I don't want to cast anybody new because of unreliability. But she begged me to be in the series, and she wanted to
Right.
prove herself. So I thought, well, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and I'll see what she's like. And if she's rubbish, I could just cut her out. It's not a big deal to me. But actually, she proved herself, and then she became a massive regular for the series, as apart from series three. But she still became a massive part of the series. And so once I know who is in there, I think okay, And then with series two, it was like, okay, who do I bring back? Do I need anybody to come back? And actually, with series two, the only person I really needed to kind of cameo to link with the series was Charlie because he plays
Right.
Johnny Quinn. And so there was a link there. Melissa was already going to come back as Judy anyway. And then obviously the new characters. I mean, obviously Lottie came as Mama Bear. She cameoed in series two, which was a last minute addition. But then that was great because then that kind of linked me to think, okay, we could use this character for season three. And then obviously I got inspired for season three because it happens. I always get inspired by the new series when I make a series. And
Yeah.
so for series two, I was already planning series three. And with Mama Bear's character, it was, oh, okay, what can we do with her? There's got to be a family there. There's got to be a background and stuff like that. And I already thought, okay, she's going to have like maybe 3 or 4 sons. She's going to have like 2 daughters. And her husband's, of course, that already stuck, mysteriously disappeared because she might have killed them. And,
Yeah.
I always like that idea. But yes, so the character creations always happen when the new series is in development. And if I want to bring somebody back, I will say, right, okay, do you want to come back for the series? And then it's either yes or no, because it gives me an opportunity to think, could somebody new come in? Or, could somebody old want to come back into it? But then again, also it's my decision. And like if I think a storyline has concluded with somebody, there's no need to bring them back unless there's an important reason.
Yeah. Right. Okay. It's very thorough process. And just talking about the process as well, I think I talked to you before when we actually worked on the series. Um, I really enjoy the kind of um sort of in the moment improv. Obviously, you've got the script, and you send us the script as actors. And but what like I said, what I really enjoyed is this kind of like in the moment kind of feeling. It's more about you don't stick to the script necessarily. It's just the script's there to help us,
Yeah.
and I love working that way. Have you always? And that's one thing that stood out when I've come onto this series. Have you always worked like that, or on your not just outsmarted, but on your other work? Do you has it been like that, or do you tend to some stuff you work on, do you really stick to the script, or is this just the Reece way, I guess? I don't know. I,
The Reese way. I could use
yeah.
that. Um, well, I mean, no, when I first started doing stories, I did, yeah, it was always stick to the script. This is my vision, stick to it. But then as the years
Mm,
went on, I started to get a bit more open with ideas and everything. I was very collaborative when I started working on a few short films. And then obviously me and Charlie, we did Archie and Jim, and we'd ad lib jokes as well. And I thought, you know what, I could kind of get used to this adding new stuff at last minute because I never used to be like that. But now I have the free will to say, right, you know what, let's see what the actor can bring. I mean, there's been times where there's been a couple of actors who get a bit cocky and they say, look, I can bring something new to them. I'm like, all right, well, you're the big man. Show us what you got. And then half the time it's either good or it's either crap. Um, so it's always 50-50. But on some occasions, there are moments where I'll say, right, you know what? Why don't you try and do this instead or that? And then there are moments when the actor does bring something new, and I think, wow, that's brilliant. We'll keep that in 100%. Or there are times where if it doesn't seem to work, I'll say, right, actually, can you say what's in the script? But maybe if you want, say it this way, not that way, and understand what it is, what's going on. Because I have to try and explain as well what's going on in the scene, how they're going to be feeling, what's going to be happening, and I want that feeling as well because it's not just the feeling of the actors feeling it as well. I want the audience to feel it as well. I don't want them to look at this and think that, oh, that didn't sound right. They should have said it this way. I kind of want to think, right, what if I was an audience member, how would I want to see that? And I kind of say, right, say it like this because that's how I would want to see it. But then if the
mm,
actor feels a different way, I'll let them say what they need to do. But at times it's all about the feeling that we need to get. And it's like, when I was doing series two and I was working with Catherine, who played the serial killer, there were times where she would do a certain line and I'd say to her, I don't think that's how the character would say it because her character is
mm,
very manipulative. You kind of need to sound a bit more, a bit more sly, a bit more slower rather than just lash it out. And
right.
she did. She managed to get that slow tone out. And then I was like, that's what I'm looking for. You have to do that. And afterwards, she kind of got what it was I was after. Then she really played the field amazingly with that role. And so when they stick to a certain tone of how I'm visualizing, then they'll get it themselves. I'll go, oh, okay, then whatever they want to come out with, or whatever they say, as long as it's that tone, I think, yeah, that works. But yeah, but sometimes as well, like it's because Outsmarted is also a comedy. I do say to people, look, you can say it in a weird way because I remember when I was working with Mike and David on series one, they didn't even know this was a comedy, even though they read the script. They didn't know this was a comedy. And I was like, how could you not tell this was a comedy? And they were like, well, I couldn't really. I said, no, no, no. I said, please say it this way, get it. And then they would say their lines in these really hilarious ways. And it just came out brilliant. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm after. So, in terms of like collaborative, I do love what the actor does bring. I mean, when you see series three, for instance, I mean, Pauline Pert is in the series and she manages to ad lib her stuff incredibly well. And I can honestly say, without trying to make anybody jealous, when Pauline and Monet do their scene, it's honestly some of the best acting I've had in the entire series of Outsmarted in general because they just gave it their all. And it's just incredible storytelling.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think what else I mean, we've had a lot of talks, just me and you, just on set on the series, and like I said before, I think it's just a great way to work, the way you do work, and
Oh
so
yeah,
I
well, I have
guess
a
what
very strong
I guess
relationship with the actors. It's very important with that. I mean, we're creating the
yeah,
show. You have to have that and try and tell them
yeah,
exactly what it is you're bringing.
yeah, no, definitely, and I guess what everyone wants to know. I mean, you may have given me a bit of an insight, but what everyone wants to know is what's next for Outsmarted. I guess if you're allowed, if you're able to elaborate
What's
without
next for
saying too much.
Outsmarted?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I could carry on with Outsmarted for as long as I need to, but the only issue is it depends if I have a career by then, because I'm still trying to fight for that career, and I'm still making
yeah,
different projects as well. And also, there's loads of other ideas that I really want to cling on to get out. I mean, obviously, there's my autism awareness projects, there's my feature films that I'm making. Plus, it's my 20th anniversary in 2025, so there's a lot going on.
Nice.
But no, I've already confirmed season four. Season four will happen, and I've already got some actors up here and spoken to in terms of casting. So there might be a very more interesting stuff coming up with Red and other characters. Obviously, there's a few more that might come back as well, but I'm still thinking about that because, like I said, it's important to find out who needs to come back for a storyline. But no, I'm definitely going to do a season four, and that's really going to dive more into Red's backstory a lot. It's really going to focus a lot on Red and a relationship involving his adoptive mother, which does have a lot of strong strengths to it. But that's all I can really say about it. But there is definitely a lot more that I've got up here already planned. I've already started writing my notes, and I will start writing the series later this year. Because I have no doubt that season three is going to be a success. I mean, I think season three will do really well. Um, I mean, the cast for season three is incredible. I mean, I'm so glad I got you involved in it and Dio and Monet. I mean, the Bear family are just incredible. I love the Bear family especially. I mean, I never even thought I was actually going to be able to create a family for this season because getting families is so hard to create, especially when you get them together. So I'm so glad that we got the Bear family, and but the thing is with Outsmarted, I've always noticed it's always there when I need it. When I ever feel a bit down
Mm,
or depressed, or I know that there's something that's not working, that's always there. And I think, yeah, I've got that. That's going to come out this year. I've got no problems with that. It's always been there when I've needed it, which is always a lifesaver. But it is
mm,
very precious to me. And the thing is about Smart, I could come up with so many ideas for it. I mean, I don't know how far I would go with it. I mean, I don't want to say that, oh, yeah, I'm going to do season four and then it might end because it might not. And I don't want to say, yeah, season four is going to happen, then I'll jump onto a season five because it might not happen. But like I said, there's so many stuff that could happen. But I think if there's an audience and there's an appetite for it and people are still watching it and people still have a thing for it, then I don't mind carrying it on. It just depends, like I said, if it was to build. But the most sad thing is if this was like a proper TV series, if this had a budget and this was like a proper
mm.
thing, then definitely I would cling on to it for as long as possible. I mean, it would be incredible, but unfortunately, I'm still climbing up to say to people
Okay.
this is what how far I could go. But then again, I don't let budgets or people or productions or egos stop me, shall we say. I just go off and make it either way, so I don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's what's great, Reece. That's what's like brilliant. And yeah, it's just even when I've been on set, with yourself, with the other cast members, like it's so chilled and it's just like there isn't any ego,
No,
from my
I wouldn't let any
experience.
egos on my set anyway. Believe me, I've done with that. Egos and toxic
Yeah,
people are out of my life for good. I've had too many of
yeah,
those. Now we need
yeah,
less of those and more people like what we've had in on set.
yeah. 100%, 100%. Well, that's kind of me done for questions on my side, and I guess the only other thing is what for those that don't know, when is it due to be released? Is there a release date?
Yeah, yeah, 7th of November. I'm releasing two episodes on the 7th, which is something I've never done before with Outsmarted. Normally I release them weekly, but I thought because we've got about 7, 8 episodes to get through, it's good to kind of get them out as quickly as possible. Plus, it'll be out near Christmas as well, and I want to get it done before Christmas arrives so everyone can relax. I've seen the series, and they can relax for Christmas.
Yeah.
Plus, also, I will have a Christmas special out anyway for Christmas. But anyway, but no, but for Outsmarted, like yeah, 100%, it's going to come out 7th of November. And there's going to be 7 to 8 episodes. I'm still editing the episodes at the moment. It'll be on my YouTube channel, Reece92. Just subscribe, and I can't wait for people to see it. I really think that out of all the series, this one definitely has more character development, a lot of depth to it. It definitely links with the other series. So if no one's seen it, please watch series 1 and 2 because you have to understand the storylines. And but yeah, I mean everybody did an amazing job with it. I mean, I just can't believe as well that we've got who we've got in this series. It's just incredible. I'm so honoured that we had the best people in this. I think the casting's definitely the best one, especially. It's definitely a lot funnier as well. There's a lot of more action in this one as well, a lot of slapstick as well, I would
Yeah.
say, involving me and you and Dio,
Yeah.
which was very fun to film. By the way, that fight,
Yeah.
I told Dio as well, it's going to be in episode two.
Okay.
It's going to be in
Okay.
episode two, the fight,
Right. Okay.
because the episodes are very nice and lengthy as they are at the moment. So episode two, definitely. Um,
Okay.
and the rest, I mean, episode three, though, that's the must see episode because of the reveal of what happens to Nana Bear, which I'm still not going to reveal until it airs on my YouTube channel,
Uh,
because no one knows apart from Monet and Pauline and me.
right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you kept that. You were very tight-lipped on that one, even when we were filming.
Yes, I
So
was. I was. And I
yeah.
told Monet to be quiet as well. I was like, look, don't reveal, please. Shush. That's why they didn't get the script. Because I remember a few people were going to me, I haven't got all the scripts. What do you mean? I haven't got episode three. I went, you're not in episode three. You don't need episode three. Oh, okay. Are you sure? Yeah. You don't need it.
Yeah. I might have been one of them actually when you sent it. I don't know. I don't know if I questioned you at the time, but
You
yeah,
did.
I'm interested to see.
It was you.
I
There
think I
was Natasha.
yeah.
Yeah, there was quite a couple that asked me what's with episode three, and I went, there is an episode three. It's just you're not in
Yeah.
it. You know, but that episode when it comes out, I cannot wait to for people to get shocked. I'm going to be teasing that episode all week before it comes out, and I'm going to say to people that's the because I remember I did that as well with series two, episode four, because that's
Right.
also another flashback episode where we reveal why Red and the serial killer, well, why the serial killer wanted to kill Red. And I remember Melissa was like, "I haven't had episode," and I said, you're going to see the reveal of who the serial killer is and why this person, you know." And I remember she watched it. She was like, "Oh, that was a good." I was like, "I know, see." And the reviews on that episode was amazing. It's actually became my second most watched Outsmarted episode. That one. So with series
Oh
three,
no.
I hope that we get more most watched episodes in the views. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. It was a pleasure to work on it as well, Reese, and yeah, just excited for that release date. But yeah, that's
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited to you to see it, and also like it's been great working with you. Definitely. I mean, we've already worked together on the Raven, and
on the
now this
Raven.
one. Yeah. So already two
Yeah,
projects. So I'm definitely going to make sure there's another one on the way. Absolutely. 100%.
nice.
I mean, this is definitely the Reece friendship that we need in the world.
Yeah,
The world needs two more Reeces to collaborate and get them out there. There's not enough Reeces in
100%.
the world.
No, it's not. It's not. Reese isn't really a common name, actually. I mean, I'm not. I don't hear the name Reese that often. I don't know if you do, but
No,
um,
I actually don't know any other. I don't. I've never actually met any other Reeses. And actually, I don't think the last one I met was when I was at school. I was about eight. So
yeah,
since then, but no, but yeah, it's going to be great. Like, I mean, we need to when it comes out, we'll definitely have to show everybody that this series means business, and commission it up as high as possible and get people watching because series four is going to be coming. And believe me, they're
yeah,
going to want to watch the last clip of season three, because that's going to link in with season four in a way. Again, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but let's just say that I filmed a bit that's going to link with season four coming, and people are going to think, "Ooh, it's going to be a big one."
nice. Again, I wasn't aware of this. Didn't know anything
No,
as per
a lot
usual.
of people didn't know. A lot of people didn't know. I actually just went off and filmed it on my own. So
Oh, oh, okay,
yeah.
right, right,
So you're
okay,
actually the first person I've told just now. So there you go.
okay, right. Fair enough, man. But yeah, well,
Excellent.
no, lovely to talk to you, Reese. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything else to say really, apart from yeah,
No,
let's
that's all good, mate.
can't
It's all
wait till it's
good.
come out.
I think we've established the series very well. I think might be interested in this definitely, and we'll definitely
Yeah,
have to. If anything else comes up, we'll have to have this thing as a common thing. The two Reeses just chatting about the upcoming projects.
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's
Definitely.
do it.
Amazing.
Amazing. All right, mate. Well, listen, you take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you
Yeah, you
soon.
too. Yeah, speak to you soon, Reece. Take care, man.